Hello, my name is Patrice Bezick.
And I'm Patty Hauserman. Patrice and I are speech-language pathologists with Summit DD. We provide services to adults with intellectual disabilities who have varying degrees of swallowing disorders. The general medical term for swallowing disorders is dysphagia.
This video has been created to provide information and increase your understanding of dysphagia and safe eating strategies. It is essential that you watch the entire video. This portion of the video deals with strategies that we've found over the years to be very important with the individuals we serve. There are some things we're going to tell you that you'll say, really? You need to tell us that? And the answer is yes. Everything we mention in this section is important.
Prior to presenting or assisting a person with a meal, please make sure that they're awake, alert, and ready to eat. If an individual uses an alternative communication system, please make sure it's available to them throughout the meal and in working order so that they can enjoy the social aspect of the meal and to make choices throughout. The meal should be offered with the foods prepared to the appropriate temperature. Hot foods hot, cold foods cold. If they have temperature preferences, please do your best to honor them. This may require that you reheat the meal throughout. Please ensure that the person that you're presenting or assisting with the meal has enough liquids for the entire meal. This also might require pureed fruit if it's mentioned in their eating strategies. A relaxing, pleasant social atmosphere really enhances the enjoyment of a meal, especially for those folks that have eating and swallowing difficulties. Think about it. It's important to all of us. It's how we show love. It's how we celebrate. Creating a pleasant atmosphere can be as simple as turning off the TV, turn down the radio, limit the movement within the room.
All of us benefit from eating and drinking in an upright position. This allows gravity in our bodies to work together during swallowing. It's best if you're able to be seated in a 90-degree angle from the hips and your feet planted on the floor for stability. One of the most natural and engaging ways to feed someone is to be seated next to them. This way, it also helps to present the food at a neutral position. If you need to provide prompts during the meal, please use sparingly. No one wants to be told what to do all the time. It is ideal that we remain upright for a period of time after having anything to eat or drink. We usually recommend 30 minutes. Don't lay down, don't recline in a chair. This is especially true if you have a history of reflux. Name the food being presented to the individual. Allow them an opportunity to select the food that they may want to eat next. Watch for an individual's comfort level while eating. Look for signs that the individual is ready. They may lean in, open their mouth, or not ready. The individual may turn their head, purse their lips, close their eyes, and honestly, they really may just not want it.
Encourage a person to swallow what's in their mouth, whether it's food or drink, before adding more to it. This can be done by simply watching for their swallow. While we want to encourage the social aspect of a meal, we want to discourage people from talking with food in their mouth. If you hear a wet voice or a gurgle, encourage the person to clear their throat by providing a model like this or asking them through a prompt. Clear your throat, please. If a person's coughing, allow them to cough. Don't lift their arms, don't pat them on the back, and don't offer them something to drink. If at some point they stop coughing and show signs of choking, please follow your emergency procedures.
Patty and I are going to share with you common strategies that we use with individuals we see who experience dysphagia. For many individuals, it's best to sit in a chair with arms. This provides safety and stability. When possible, provide family-style dining so that everyone sits around the table together. This provides a social atmosphere and a means to monitor the individual during eating. For people who require assistance to eat, we've found that it's helpful to sit face to face to assist the individual during a meal. Many people benefit from use of a high-sided dish. This gives an opportunity for the individual to scoop their food against the plate without losing it onto the table. There are non-slip material and dishes available to help keep a dish in place. This may help prevent frustration from the dish sliding around the table.
For folks that have swallowing disorders, we often recommend that they avoid mixed texture foods. Mixed texture foods are those that have a combination of both thin liquids and bits of food that need to be chewed. For example, soups and cold cereal with milk. The reason that we ask you to avoid these foods is that while you're chewing the bits of food, sometimes the thin liquids moves through your mouth and heads down your throat unchecked before you're ready to swallow. We found that it's usually beneficial with the folks that we serve that they use a wide mouth cup or glass when drinking their liquids. The reason for this is that the wide mouth of the cup allows them to tip the cup and not their head back. Whether we have swallowing difficulties or not, our anatomy is such that the tipping of the head opens up our airway and makes it more likely when we're swallowing that it would go down the wrong way or down the wrong pipe. A neutral or a chin tuck position naturally helps protect that airway. We often recommend that people do not use straws. The reason behind this is that when you draw in the liquid through the straw, it throws the liquid in the back of the throat. This takes away the time that you have to control that liquid and often heads down the throat before we're ready to swallow. Another aspect of swallowing that we like to discourage is something we call a continuous swallow. It's exactly what it says, drinking continuously. The reason is the folks that we serve have trouble controlling the large volume and quick movement of the liquid through the mouth. That's why we usually recommend small sips of liquid. I personally like to start a meal with either a sip of liquid or a bite of pureed fruit. It helps to moisten the mouth. It's also helpful to take a sip or a bite of pureed fruit in between bites. It helps to moisten the mouth and clear out any particles that might be hanging out in there. I find it's also helpful to end a meal in the same way, for the same reason.
The strategies that we have shared with you apply to most individuals with swallowing disorders.
For the specifics on the individual that you serve, please refer to their written eating guidelines, which are attached to their plan. If you have any questions about this video, specific needs for an individual, or would like to schedule a staff training, please reach out to one of us.
Thank you for your commitment to providing a safe eating culture. We hope this information has been helpful.